Hey everyone, this is Grace, and I thought I'd do a little whip and chat. I'm just now starting on this one. This is one I got from Diamond Art Club, and it's a wolf. I showed this in one of my videos, and I have it kitted up in just these plastic containers. And what I do is just put a sticker, and I put the number that's on the canvas, and I also put the little code, the little symbol, whatever you want to call it, and those are the little dots. And it looks like I'm going to be starting with C's over here, which it looks like are blacks. So I normally start in the right hand bottom corner, since I'm right-handed, so I'm not putting my hand into the plastic, into the sticky, if you know what I mean. So let's see if I can situate myself just a little bit here. I hope all of you are having a fabulous day today. And it has been quite cooler here in Texas this week. Last week we were in 80s and 90s. And this week our highs have been in the 50s and 60s. Our lows are in the 50s, so not a real big jump. And we've had quite a bit of rain. Today it has not rained very much, just a little bit this morning. So it's been nice. It's kind of like fall for us. We'll see how long that lasts. So I'm going to put some of these. This is a round. And it is a wolf, as I said, and has this big round part right here is the moon. You can see the wolf's nose up there, and it's got blue on this side, pink on that side. But I thought, let me get started on this. I'm also doing this for a diamond paint-along that Gwen, Wendy, and Brandy are hosting, and their Facebook page is Diamond Painting Underground, I believe. I can link that below. But they're having a paint along, and you can win prizes. It goes from now until, I think, the end of December. So you can start in anytime you want to. So you could check out their channels. Everything Gwenny talks about it on one of her videos, and Abstract Crafter, who is Brandy, I think, and Gone Off My Meds, I believe is Wendy, and they talk about that on their channel. So let's see if I can do a little bit here. Sometimes, whoops. Turn my light out. I can't see. Okay, let's see if I can put one down here. Okay, these are all C's, so we want to make sure we get them in the C's. Now, I'm not sure how well you can see what I'm doing here, but I didn't want to get it so close that you were hearing me breathe. Now, if I was doing this in squares, I would skip the next one. And you can do this with the rounds too. And then skip this C, because all of these are the same color. And skip that one. When you're doing this with squares, when you go back and fill in those, it will make a little click sound. And it just sounds so cool. That's what, well, I put that one right next to it. It's no big deal. My arm hitting that on and off button might be a big deal in just a little bit. So then what you would do is all you do is you go back, and you can keep doing this. Go up to the next row. Not all of these are C's up here. I'll wait until I see here's a C and there's not one underneath it, so I'd put it right there. And that's how you do your checkerboard, in case you were wondering. And probably most of you have seen this 5,000 times. Just another person putting their 2 cents worth in. Mine might not even be worth 2 cents. But whatever. I did find some questions to answer that has to do with fall. So I thought that might be something I could answer, talk about, get me started on something, because I can, once I get started, you'll be saying, will you ever shut up, lady? Come on. Okay, let me see what the first one is. What is my favorite fall scent? Okay, I have to say my favorite fall scent is pumpkin pie baking in the oven. I love that scent with the nutmeg and the cinnamon, especially cinnamon, and ginger, all of those. I love those spice smells. Those are my favorites. I don't know. Oh, now I'm getting into winter, so I'm going to something else. The best way to spend a rainy day. Well, sometimes the best way is to be laying in bed reading a book. I enjoy doing that. But I also enjoy diamond painting when it's nasty outside and you don't want to get out there. I enjoy doing crochet. I enjoy doing some coloring. Sometimes I just want to watch YouTube, because I'll do that when I'm doing other things, but sometimes I just want to just sit and watch. So those are some things I enjoy doing on a rainy day. My favorite fall drink. Okay, my favorite fall drink is going to probably be hot chocolate, because it gets a little cooler and it's cool enough to have my hot chocolate, because I love chocolate. I'm not a big coffee drinker because I can't have caffeine, but I do sometimes go get the decaf. We don't have a Starbucks here in Livingston, but I will sometimes when I'm at my daughter's, which I'm going to soon. I'm so excited. She lives in the Dallas area, which is quite a ways from where I live, and I will get the decaf pumpkin spice latte. Delicious. So something warmer, because in the summertime I just have a hard time. I also enjoy drinking spiced teas, herbal teas, cinnamon spice teas. I enjoy that. Now I'm just going to go back and put some of these in the C's here. This is because with the circles or the rounds, you don't have to fit it straight into a square, so it's much easier to do. That's why I usually say start with circle or rounds with round diamonds. If you're not confident to maybe want to start with a square. Some people have a very steady hand and they just want to hop right into doing a square. That's, everything is up to you with the diamond painting. That's what's great about it. Pretty much anybody can do it. If I can do this, you can do it. I can say that much. Okay, so let's see. Football, yay or nay? I don't care, because my husband will be watching football. It's yay for him. And I usually will be crocheting or diamond painting, and he and I will just talk. Now, there are times that I have seen enough football games that I just want to scream. A lot of times on Saturdays, he has it going day and into the evening. Yeah, it's pretty much an all-day affair. And I have a hard time wanting to sit and listen to it. It's not just even watching, it's listening to those guys saying, look what he did there. And I understand football. I've watched it long enough with my husband. I know what's going on, but I don't seem to really care. That's the problem. Okay, this is nice with these circles here. Why do I keep calling them circles? Because they're a circle. But these rounds, this Diamond Art Club, their canvas is printed nice and dark so that when you look at this black, you have black surrounding it. It's not white. Because this is a black area, you want it to be black around that area so you don't see like huge holes, huge gaps in there. So this is my first time to work on my Diamond Art Club. I've been working on some other things, and I did finish my custom, and I put a short little video showing that before I did this. So if you want to see what it came to look like, just look at the video. It's probably going to be the one right before this one. And I was pleased with it. I now need to frame it. And I'm waiting for a frame to come in next week. I've actually chosen a black and silver frame because I think that it's going to look nice. Looking at the picture, you can't tell how much gray actually went into that picture. And with Sadie, the white dog, I thought that would bring up the light of her. And then the black is Aria. And I tend to like black frames. I like black. I think black really shows up the colors around it. So I'm anxious to see how that's going to look. I'm not going to do the framing on camera because I don't want to make a mess out of it. And sometimes that's what happens if you've watched any of my how-to videos. If you want a good laugh, you could watch some of those because I tend to make some goofy mistakes. Anyway, let's see what the next question is. I keep getting off on other things. Favorite article of clothing this fall? I can't say that I have a favorite article of clothing, but I am looking forward to wearing some shawls that a friend of mine made for me. And I had crocheted a cardigan in May or June, I don't remember when, that I liked. It's very big and comfy and cozy. I like comfy, cozy things to wear around the house. If it gets real cold, I think around here a shawl or a light jacket is all you have to have. Sweatshirts sometimes even get too warm most days. But I can't say that I have a one favorite piece of clothing that I like, so I don't know. Do any of you have anything that's favorite? Sometimes I like to put a scarf on, some scarves that I have made. I've made a lot of scarves. I've given a lot of scarves away. And sometimes I like to wear some of my crocheted hats. Depends on what I'm doing. Okay, then it asks, haunted house, haunted hayride, or haunted corn maze? I would have to say haunted house. I used to love to go to the haunted houses. I loved when people would jump out at me, and usually I was expecting it, and I just mostly laughed. I mean, I did do some screaming, and you could hear other people screaming, and it was kind of funny. Now, I went to one haunted house that really was pretty scary, but it's been so long I haven't been to a haunted house. They don't really have them in my area. We'd have to go to Houston or somewhere else to see something like that. The good ones. So, I've never been on a haunted hayride, and a haunted corn maze sounds a little, yeah, I don't know. Those corn stalks kind of, that, especially if they're dry, that whispering in the wind. And with my luck, I would get lost because I'm good like that. Losing my way. Unless I know where I'm going, but you get in there in the dark and yeah, kind of hard to see. And my husband would think that that was quite funny, I'm sure. He used to love to go with me to haunted houses, especially if I hollered at all. He just thought that was great. And when we take my daughter when she was little and she'd holler and scream, he got a kick out of that. Gosh, I miss those days. Those of you with young kids, enjoy it while you can, because they grow up so fast. So fast. Okay. The scariest movie you've ever seen. Oh, I don't know. I tell you, some of the grossest ones were those Freddy Krueger movies. I hated those. They were just too gross with those long fingernails and just digging them off into people. That just, it mostly grossed me out than anything else. I pretty much like all the Halloween movies. Those were kind of, I mean, I guess when you get older, you don't get scared as much. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's strange, but I did. I hated the Freddy Krueger movies. Any of y'all see those? Ugh. And I will not watch them today. I'm just like, no. That's just nasty. I need to do something. And I remember I teach in school. The kids would make these long fingernails out of pieces of paper. They get them and make these long and make them real pointed, and they'd stick them on the ends of their fingernails, well, of their fingers. They'd be walking around like they were Freddy Krueger, and I thought that was so funny. Okay. Favorite candy to eat on Halloween? Oh my. I know I always, when I was young and went trick-or-treating, I always loved to get Snicker bars. I love Snickers. I like peanuts, and the caramel and the chocolate. I love it all. That would probably be my favorite. I'm more of an ice cream eater than a candy eater. So, yeah, I'm trying to tell myself that ice cream is not one of the basic 4 food groups. Well, I guess it is when you think of dairy, but it's not a good dairy, so I'm trying to do better. And right now, oh, the pumpkin spice ice cream is out by Bluebell. That is just wrong for them to put that out. I keep trying to go by and not take any. My husband and I will probably get one to share, and by sharing, that means he'll probably eat 3 or 4 bites out of it, and he said, I'm done, so that I can shovel down the rest. That's the reason I hate to go and get ice cream, is I'm the only one eating it. He is not much of an ice cream person. Now, he's more into like pumpkin bread, banana nut bread, those types of things, and cookies. I'm more into the ice cream. So when we have some pumpkin ginger cake or something, and I don't even eat it because that doesn't tempt me like ice cream. I have to keep ice cream out of the house so that I am not tempted. Let's see what's next. What will you or your kids be this year? Well, I will be what I am every day, a witch. Well, my daughter is grown, and I do plan on being at her house for Halloween. And, you know, she's grown and married. She doesn't have any children. She has her dogs, and she used to dress her dogs up in the cutest outfits and take them to different places. Just adorable little dresses, especially her white Pomeranian. She had the cutest clothes, and she has a Shiba Inu, and her husband was a police officer at one time in Dallas until all of the horrible things started going on with the police department, and he decided he didn't want any more to do with that. She got a police outfit for her Shiba, and his name is Elwood. Yeah, from the Blues Brothers. His name is Elwood. So they dressed Elwood up in a little police costume, and it was really cute. But I'm not dressing up as anything. Are any of you? Do any of you do that? where I live, we don't even have kids come by because we're on a highway and there are not kids that live real close by. We've never had anyone. Okay. Favorite fall recipe. I made this for the first time last year, and it is a pumpkin spice. It's a dump cake. That is the best thing I have ever eaten. I'll have to look the recipe up again because when I made it to take to a couple of places, everyone loved it and wanted to eat it. It really was delicious. I had to try to control myself because usually it's ice cream for me, but that ooh, that was so good. It had Cool Whip or whipped cream on top and caramel. Oh, it was delicious. I don't remember. I haven't made it since last year because if I make things like that, then I'll be stuffing my face, and that's not good for me. I don't need to be eating that kind of stuff. Okay, let's see. I need a tea. Where is the tea? Because my chart's way up there, so I can't see it. That looks like a 7. Oh, here it is. There's a T. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's kind of dark looking. But I've got a T on the top here. And this is a pretty blue. Ooh, lovely blue color. I'm not sure how much, well, you can see any of these colors because with the light on overhead, it's still not picking it up real well. I've got you on my laptop. I'm recording that because my camera turns off after about 20 something minutes. And when I start doing one of these, I don't want to have to keep looking to see, is it 20 minutes yet? Have I turned off? So I have a webcam that I've got set over me. I bought a new one that does pretty good for something like this, I think. I don't know. You may think, oh, I can't see. It also has to do with this light on. Oh, okay. Now maybe you can see it. Okay. I do not know what happened there, but my webcam decided to just go crazy. And it's still acting a little crazy right now. It's going in and out of focus. Let's see if it will behave now. Okay, I was talking about the blue color. I don't know that I'm going to turn this light off again. I was afraid to. But let's see. Okay, now you can see that blue color. It's very pretty. It's looks like it goes, or all you see these pink tees. You can see quite a few of these little pink tees. Not sure how well you can see them without this light on, or even with it on. It's hard to tell. But we shall see how this is going to work. My just decided to go off. I've been playing around and beating around on it. We'll see if it's going to work for me now or not. It's not very old. It's better. Please don't stop working on me now. I just got you about a month ago. Okay. We were talking, okay, my favorite fall recipe. I was talking about the cake that I enjoy. What is your favorite thing about fall? My favorite thing about fall, definitely, is to get a little bit of cooler weather here in Texas. It is just blistering hot in the summertime. And I'm really shocked right now that we are having as cool a weather as we are having here in October. It normally does not get like this in October. So I am thrilled to death, but I'm also just shocked that we are having it. It's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I am thrilled to death to have this nice cool weather. So we actually have some that feels a little bit like fall. Of course, we mostly have pine trees around us, and those are evergreen, so those stay green all year round. So we don't have those beautiful changes in the leaves like a lot of you do up north. Oh, I love to look at those pictures. If you're enjoying those beautiful changes in the leaves, you're so lucky. Of course, I must say that I would not be looking forward to the snow that you will be having. I mean, I like to see snow, but I really don't think that I could live where it snowed all the time. And when I see people showing them shoveling snow and going through the snow and bundling up like a I don't know. You have to put on, for me, I would have to put on maybe 10 coats. Well, maybe not that bad. I do have a little bit of a coat of flab that would keep me a little bit warmer. But no, I do not envy that snow part. I would love for it to snow. We do get, you would laugh at what we call snow. If we get an inch or two of snow, most people everywhere knows that Texas pretty much shuts down. We can't have school. If you can make it into work, you're expected to go. But yeah, they have to get the sand out. We're not equipped with our cars. We don't have any way of driving on that slick roads. You don't want to be around here if it's slick and you see someone out there driving. Get off the road as quickly as you can, because they don't know what they're doing unless they have lived in a snow climate before, and then they need to be out probably and drive us around. Or if they have four-wheel drive or something, they can get around, but most people don't. So yeah, I would not envy that part of the winters, because I've seen you don't just get a little, you get feet of snow, many feet of snow. And then up there, when you get your blizzards, I cannot even imagine. Yeah, we have our hurricanes and tornadoes and things, but I just don't know how I could manage a blizzard, not being able to see and being so cold. And I like to look at pictures. I love to look at the winter scene pictures, but I don't think I want to be out there in it for very long. I would probably be inside diamond painting or crocheting my next item to wear outside to keep me warm. It has been so hot. That was one reason I hadn't crocheted as much. You just sometimes don't feel like messing with the yarn. But I do plan on making my brother, many of you that have been watching me know that my brother has cancer. They did surgery and removed a huge place that was on his forehead and above. I mean, they cut his head all up. And that is now, the stitches are out, and now he started radiation yesterday. I'm not sure how long he's going to have to do radiation, but he kind of hinted around to me about hats, and he said, have you ever made hats and things out of wool or alpaca or anything like that? And I said, well, the only kind of wool that I would use would be the superwash merino. The other is too scratchy for me. I can't, it makes me itch so bad. I can't stand to even touch it. So anyway, I have some, he only likes neutral, muted, mostly black. But I have a dark gray that I found of Knit Picks, and it is, I believe, 75% superwash merino and 25% silk. It is so soft. So I am trying to find that. I think I have found the perfect hat that I want to make, so I'm going to start on that and make him a couple. I also ordered some alpaca, so I can make him a hat out of alpaca. I'll make him 2 or 3 hats. He deserves that. He has beautiful blue eyes. My mother lost her first husband to a heart attack when he was only 30, and she was pregnant with my second brother Greg, and Daryl was the oldest, and Daryl was very young. So their daddy had blue eyes. That's the reason, because you've seen me on camera, you know I don't have blue eyes, nothing close to blue eyes. Mine are, when I was in school, the boys used to tell me my eyes were black. They call me doe eyes, like a deer. So he has beautiful blue eyes, so I'd love to do a pretty blue one. Let's see if I can talk him into that. Wearing a blue one, it would look so nice with his eyes. So we'll see what I can do for that. But this one is, like I said, a dark gray. And I've ordered some black because he likes black, but he would look lovely with blue, whether he knows it or not. And I just would like to still have your thoughts and prayers for him. It's still a long road to hoe, as we say here, because a lot of people used to have gardens. And what is so funny, I just thought this was hilarious. The last part of my teaching career, I taught ESL, which is English as a Second Language. And we were talking about gardening, and I said, how many of you know what a hoe is? They just burst out laughing, and all of you know why, because we know what they use the word hoe for now, which is not the intended purpose. It is a piece of gardening equipment. And yes, my daddy, even though he was a CPA, he always had a garden. And yes, he had us acquainted with a hoe. So, yeah, I know what the hoe is, and I do not like it. I hated going out there hoeing around the peas and the corn and all the different things that he planted. He grew up in the Depression, and their family had a farm. So I guess it was just in his blood. He had an office in Houston. We lived in Houston for quite a while. But he always had a garden, no matter where we have lived. Then when he got older, his gardens didn't get smaller. They just kept getting bigger. And he would give a lot of his vegetables, and he picked them. He would pick them and take them to widow ladies and people who were in need. He would take them to food banks and, you know, fresh vegetables and whatever he had. He always was the kind of person who would share what he had, and he worked hard. I tell you what, you didn't find weeds in his garden. I don't have a garden at this time. One day, I keep telling my husband I want him to make me a small plot, but he hasn't really had time. He still works. And we've talked about doing that. I wonder how many weeds will end up in my garden. I have this horrible picture, but I think that I would probably end up being like him and going out there and getting the weeds out of there, and that would be a good thing for me to get out, and that is excellent exercise. Get a lot of good fresh air. So maybe one day I'll be doing that. I remember, I hated picking peas. Oh, good grief. Bending over for hours, because my daddy, you have to understand, he came from a family with 8 children, and they sold their things that they grew. And they had theirs that they set aside for the family. So they had huge gardens. So he didn't have a tiny garden like I'm planning on having. He had enough that it would feed many, many, many people. And after my daddy passed away, in fact, the day he passed away, he had been out working in his garden, and he came in, and he was looking at some seed packages. He had them in his hand, he was looking at them, he's sitting in a chair. My mom was on the couch, and he was talking about the seeds, and the next thing she knew, she heard a thump, and she saw that he had fallen over, and she couldn't get him to move. And I lived about 100 yards from them. She called me, and all she said when I got on the phone is, "Come now." And I went running to the house, and my dad was laying on the floor. He had had a triple bypass a couple of years before this, and the doctor had warned us that it wasn't going to be if he has a heart attack, it was going to be when. So, and he also pretty much told us that when he had this one, he wouldn't live through it. Anyway, we called 911, and they told me to perform CPR on my dad. This is not something you ever are prepared for in your life, and that was so terrifying, because I'm like, I don't know if I can do it right, but I did. I did the pumps on his chest and breathing into his mouth. At that time, that was the way you still did it. I remember having to try to position him first where I could get to him, and I remember crying and telling Daddy, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to move you over. I'm doing the best I can. And yeah, you know, those are things you never forget, and you're never prepared for something like that. But you know, there's something in you that you just do it. You don't even think about it. You just start doing what needs to be done. The ambulance finally arrived. I knew my daddy was gone before they got there. But they came in and they used the paddles on him. Didn't do any good. They took him in the ambulance to the hospital, and they worked on him for a while before they pronounced him dead. I already knew he was gone. But that was a very hard period. I've been through some really strange things, and I don't know if you even want to hear about that kind of stuff. If it bothers you, tell me. Please don't share those kinds of stories, because it kind of bothers me. Oh, my phone's ringing. Let me go check and see. It's probably my husband. Okay. Talking to my husband. He usually calls me every day at lunch. He's about 30 minutes away from home, and he likes to just chat and see what I've been doing, and tells me how his day's going and that kind of thing. So I don't have much else to say. Like I was saying, if things I talk about bother you, just tell me, or if you have questions you'd like to know about me that I've not answered, you know, go ahead and ask. I may not answer depending on what it is. I will pretty much answer almost anything. But if you want to know other things, just let me know. I know some people want me to show my colored pencils that I have. I have been doing a little bit more of coloring. You know, sometimes you just have to do something different at times, and that's just another thing that I like to do. I did counted cross stitch many years ago, and doing this brings back that. I enjoyed it. I loved doing it. But we go from one thing to another. The one thing that I've been doing probably the longest is my crochet, and I do enjoy that. And I've been doing pretty good not buying any yarn, and it's a good thing because I'm getting all these diamond paintings. Anyway, I better go, because you've probably heard enough from me for one sitting or 10 sittings or however long you might want to sit with me. But it is nice to kind of sit here and just chat with you. I enjoy doing these. I need to do some more, I guess. I enjoy listening to people while I'm doing my diamond painting. It's kind of nice to get to know somebody else. So you guys just take it easy. Thanks for joining me today, and if you stayed with me this long, I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, would you please subscribe and become part of my family? And I love to get comments and answer you back. And like I said, if you have questions, just answer them. Ask them. Or if you want to tell me something about yourself, I'd love to hear about it. Anyway, you take care. Love you guys. Have a blessed day. Bye.